So, hello, Chard. So this is Chad.
Richard and
It's
Richard.
Richard.
It's the Richard.
So yeah, so my first question is, with REV Major now on its fifth annual event with 4 on-site and 1 online, and what would be its next big step, case na, no? Since second day na tayo?
If you mean next big step for next year,
Yeah.
to be very specific, I would do all my strength to get CPT, Kappa Pro Tour, in REV Major. That's the missing piece talaga for REV Major and for me personally. We now have obviously Tekken World Tour, the Archie's World Tour, Dragon Ball World Tour, with Street Fighter 6 on the horizon. It's something that I'll do my best to have that at REV Major in 2023.
Actually, we have 3 major, I don't know, 4 games here, like with Dragon
Right.
Ball Fighters.
Dragon Ball, yeah, we have DNF and Guilty Gear also,
Yeah.
and Tekken obviously. But to get CPT, I'm a very avid Street Fighter fan. For those who know me, so that's something in my bucket list that I want to really tick.
It's up for Street Fighter 6 na next year.
Yeah.
So nice. And then simple lang, since you with the reception with REV Major, like sobrang hype din siya. Since it's also involved with the fighting game community, like with the FGC. So it's considered as one of the most hypest communities in the esports scene.
Mm-hmm.
So on your perspective, like, what do you think is the magic behind it?
It's definitely the community. That's a magic word. The people are very close. The people helps each other talaga. It goes back to the roots talaga. Yung FGC nagsimula, it's not as prominent or may budget as other games, you know. So it's really a community effort. We started out community really helping each other out, bringing their own setups, a lot of volunteers. I think that helps in the camaraderie of everyone. Now that we have a bigger event that we are very proud of, I think that's the reason why sobrang hype niya. Everyone knows each other, respects each other. Although they're very competitive, talaga nagtutulungan yung community. So, reason siguro bakit very honest and very pure yung FGC, in my opinion, compared to other games also. It's very competitive. Everyone knows each other. Talaga sobrang nagtulungan. Yeah.
I think for my final question, medyo na rin since it's relevant din. Since with the event in recent years then, especially during the pandemic, like a lot of them are converting more on online experience na eh. So do you think in regards like with REV Major or any other events, parang can they still continue to keep up with the new trend? Or like can they still bring back the good old days experience?
Yeah, I think for online, obviously for FGC, the most ideal and proper way to play it is still offline. Don't experience any lag. But with the online component in this ever-changing world, though, during the pandemic, it helped discover how to really fix it with the TISA servers, because people were trying to play, they can play offline. So the publishers, developers, fix those servers to make sure na mas maganda siya. So yun yung positive nun. At the end of the day, there's no substitute in playing offline. Being there with your opponent side by side, smelling him. That's the essence. That's what we want. We don't want the players to be that pedestal, the crowd like 20 feet away. We want everyone to be there, your idols right next to you, shouting. That's the essence of the FGC. I think you can't replace that.
Yeah. Okay, parang smell of the game.
Yes.
So I guess that's all for me. So, thank you.
Thank you, Chad.
Nice. Yeah. Next, I think we have questions from the GG podcast.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. So we have a couple of interesting questions for you to ask, particularly for REV Major and your company in general. First off is, how do you plan to expand the media events to highlight gaming and pop culture in the Philippines in general? Just to give you context, REV Major fighting game community is a huge community in the Philippines. and yet it feels separated from the rest of the other gaming components that are outside here in the Philippines. So what do you plan to do with putting them together, and what's the next thing that you guys are going to do? I know ESGS is coming up, so what are the next plans there?
Keyword you said is putting them together, so that's it. For FGC is quite small compared to other games. So what I do, what I envision is to really include FGC events, and majority of our bigger events like ESGS, we have PGF, which is a fighting game component there. Making sure that we regularly warm up and do more events for the fighting game community. Like for this year, it's not the first year we did Road to REV Major, but this year, because we did that nationwide, I think it warmed up the players, number one, because I wanted to ensure that when we get to REV Major, I don't want the players to be starstruck, mga Pinoy. I think that's over. That should be over. I want them to be very competitive. That's the one goal we wanted to do that when we created Road to REV Major.
Yeah.
So plan to do that every year and add more, probably per quarter, to do a roving fighting game event to ensure that it's seen, it's visible, and we include media, promote it properly. My vision is to make the Philippines the fighting game capital of the world. Right?
Nice.
That's something that I want to really aim for. So hopefully, with your help, with everyone's help here, everyone will be educated what the fighting game community scene is, and discover your love for fighting games.
Yeah, just a quick follow-up to that, because a part of the things that are also always relevant in the fighting game community are the Filipino game developers. We know a few. One, Ready the Games is here. They're doing Bayani. They're coming up with 2 other fighting games.
Vita Fighters, yeah.
Vita Fighters, and there's a new one, CNAP.
CNAP, yeah.
And then a lot of other Filipino devs that we know, like Tactile Studios, Team Goodnight, they're also here. Actually, one of the developers for Goodnight is participating in Dragon Ball. So what do we look into? What are we seeing as how we incorporate Filipino game devs and the Filipino game titles into events like these?
They're always welcome, of course. Kababayan natin yan eh. So, I know Ben from Ranida. So, when we were planning REV Major, it was part of my list really to contact him. We want to put a spotlight, like for 2019, it was a space for them where they can, have the game tested by the fighting game community. This year, apart from them having a booth, I made sure that their game will be showcased in the big screen at the community area. It's something that I told it that should be happening every year. Not only Bayani, but the Vita Fighters and the new game. I think that happened yesterday.
Yeah.
So, 100% support for Filipino developers. Something that's medyo frustrated ako actually, because when you go to Evo, yung reception for Bayani is better dito sa Pilipinas.
Locally, yes.
Yeah, so that's something I want to change. Siguro if you can give more exposure to them. Kasi atin to di ba? So it's something that talagang dapat pagmalaki natin.
Yes.
So I'm very happy how they are received internationally. It's really educating, and kaya dapat nandito lagi sila sa fighting game events like REV Major to ensure that it's visible and people can try it. Once the game, and I think talagang yung improvement ng game is nakita mo every year for those games na ginagawa nila is lumalaki. So I hope one day we can have one title din na can be played by people globally na proudly Pinoy. So I will continue to support them 100%.
Good. It's funny that you should mention that. Well, first off, it's really nice that you mentioned that you are willing to support. Us at G3, that's our primary advocacy. So, just a really funny question following that up. Are you willing to start something else, like a media company that will focus on Pinoy pop culture? And if you are, we're free for coffee. When are you free?
Why not? Let's schedule that.
Can you record that?
Yes.
Okay, so by the way, I'm Jake and I. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you. We still have a bit of time, so we'll open the floor to questions. Any more questions?
Hello, I'm Nico Guarte.
Hi, Nico, of course.
Yeah, good to see you again. I'm from Social Project. I was wondering if there will be plans on tackling on the niche side of the esports industry, like music rhythm games, puzzle, because it's also unlike fighting games, it's also in a small factor, but you know it's also meant for huge growth.
Good question. Actually, this morning I was talking to someone about that. Because although we have fighting games set here at REV Major, a lot of people are approaching me and said, "Hey, I want to include, for example, the Splatoon community, even other smaller communities who wants to be part of REV Major." I think that's something we can accommodate in the future, as we want to make REV Major bigger. A lot of purchase. I think there's room for that. It's very evident this year. We tried putting a community space there, the retro rev as
Retro Rev,
well.
yeah.
I think it aligns with that. So hopefully we can help out. And then if it grows, then maybe we can do something focused for those games.
Yes, because we are in a social project. We do a lot of niche and in terms of gaming and entertainment.
Mhm.
So we actually like building our esports team for music rhythm games for that we send them from like tournaments to Japan or even Thailand to
Nice.
represent Southeast Asia, and then we also host really unique tournaments or even obscure ones. So I'm pretty sure Exosia Project will be helping in like hosting those kind of tournaments, and we'll be happy to have. We can talk.
Right, let me know, I'll be happy to listen.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Nico.
I'll ask a question. Hi, Richard.
Hey, Tim.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I like your shirt.
Thanks. I got it in the States. But well, pretty much everybody covered the questions that I wanted to ask, and I'm excited. I'm very happy to see everybody again after being cooped up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my one question is, since we're having a lot of people, representatives here in the Philippines competing in games like Street Fighter, Tekken, well, in the case of Street Fighter, you think there's a chance of gathering together a team for the Street Fighter League?
Oh. Okay. That's something. I'll be focusing Street Fighter
Yeah.
after REV Major, as I mentioned. If it can be done, why not?
Yeah.
For the SF League, there's a new esports team for Capcom. I heard. I'll be introduced to them, I think, shortly after REV Major to start talking. Hopefully, that we can get CPT. That's something I can discuss with them also. So I'm really going to focus on SF, not only for CPT, for the SFT, if we can also. Right? So yeah.
Yeah, because like this, it's opening up new opportunities, and
Yes.
there's a lot of talent here. As you said, you
Yeah.
want the focus to be on the talent, and then
Right.
hopefully, aside from our local fighting games being promoted internationally, it's also recognized here. So that in itself can broaden horizons.
Definitely. I'll look into that.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
Time like two more.
Hi, I'm Gab from Spinner Page.
Hi, Gab.
You mentioned earlier that you brought Road to Rev Major to the provinces. So my question now is, since esports is becoming a thing in the Philippines, I mean a legitimate thing that everyone is focusing. So the next step is grassroots. So are there any plans for any full-fledged grassroots program for the FGC?
Oh, good question. Thank you for your question. Yes, not only for Road to Rev Major, because obviously that's something that's progression to Road to Rev. I'm also a board member of PESO. So one of our initiatives is really to grow yung grassroots natin, apart from fielding a national team for Asian Games, Olympics, or Southeast Asian Games. There are plans for the FGC in the whole approach for that. So the answer is yes. I can't divulge details right now, but I'm really looking to help grow the grassroots na FGC, not only through Digitrap. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Richard.
Hello.
I'm Ray.
I know
I come
Ray.
from the advertising and marketing
Hi, Ray.
side of things, right? So I guess I just want to ask you an invitation from you to the brands and to the advertising side, to invite them to this side of esports and gaming and brand work.
Okay, for all the advertising brands out there, for those who have supported esports in the Philippines but haven't seen the fighting game community yet, please look at us, look at the whole scene. You won't be disappointed. Attend the events. It's the most easiest game to recognize and to really appreciate if you are not yet a gamer, right? Versus the MOBAs. It's easy. It's just two people fighting each other with a health bar. So it's a good introduction to esports. The community is very healthy. There's a lot of ways to get in, to push your marketing activations and branding for fighting games also, like REV Major. So please check us out. We're very friendly, Ben. You know, you can schedule coffee with me anytime.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you, Ray.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you guys. We'll have Mark
Thank you,
Mayor
guys.
here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the day.